Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome into the Fallout Shelter. Howdy there, Rare Breeze and Jay Hart. No notifications. I'm going to look for. Yeah, I just got it set up a few minutes ago, so that would sound about right with no notifications. Hey there, Homestead Wyoming. Good evening to you. Much love to you guys. Good to see you. Well, I'm basically going to just start again from where we got cut off last time. Hey there, Mike. Good to see you. Uh, I've just got the same exact things up. The last time I tried to be on, our internet cut out, and we had just had a storm roll through here. It was pretty crazy. It was very windy, a lot of limbs blown down. We had some trees down in areas, so the internet cut out that night, and then the next morning, late morning, it finally come back on. Well, when it came back on and I could get online, the only thing I ever did that allowed me to disconnect from the YouTube live stream was to delete the video. So basically, I'm just going to start completely over with episode 3 from where we were at before. Hey there, Phidias810. Good to see you guys. And I'm going to start right over from there. And that's what I'm going to do as soon as I can kind of get figured out where I'm at. And we're going to just hope this works tonight. I got kicked off twice while waiting. So excellent connection other than when it just completely goes away. We'll see. I'm going to run through these articles pretty quick. I don't really see no reason to stay on them a super long time. Hey, check that out. So yeah, here I go with the I hate that, and I can tell I'm doing it. It drives me crazy. Anyway, we're going to start right here. Let me get the screen share going. Oh yeah, that's going to help a lot. That's something I usually forget to do. Hey, Super Dave, good to see you. Welcome in, brother. Daryl, good to see you. Much love to all you guys. Thank you for joining. Okay, back to where we were at. These articles, links are in the description. Chile passes a law protecting the employment rights of mutants, genetically modified humans. So in Chile, they passed an employment law to protect against the discrimination of mutants and genetically modified humans. The bill is titled Prohibits Labor Discrimination Against Mutations or Alterations of Genetic Material or Genetic Testing. That was passed by the National Congress of Chile last February 16th. Homestead Wyoming says, please pray for my sister-in-law Courtney. My brother-in-law died. Oh my goodness gracious. We will absolutely do so. Loss of a loved one is always so hard. Everybody remember Homestead Wyoming's sister-in-law Courtney, and make sure and remind me of that when that time comes. We have a request for some friends of mine in Florida. So yeah, let's keep those things in mind when that time comes. Alright, it was passed by the National Congress of Chile on last February 16th. And it says it may not seem related for now, but it's worth noting that Chile is one of the most highly vaccinated countries in the world. At the start of February, a campaign to administer a 4th dose got underway for a large portion of its population. They have also approved a neuro rights bill. The Senate unanimously accepted a bill that amended their constitution. But I can't talk tonight. Tired. Hey there, Victoria. Good to see you. To amend their constitution to protect neuro rights or brain rights. That the bill will be signed into law by the country's president. Once the process is completed, Chile will become the world's first country to have legislation that protects mental privacy, free will, and non-discrimination in citizens' access to neurotechnology. So we got one that's to help us with the privacy from neurotechnology, and the other one is to prohibit discrimination against mutations or alterations of genetic material, which that sounds kind of weird when you put it all together with the patents and what can be patented and what cannot be patented, and are people that have now taken this mRNA, are they part of a patented system? Who knows? It could end up being a legal fight in the future. And now there's people out there I've seen, and they're fighting for the mainstream. The mainstream is pushing some people that are fighting for the rights of the vaccine injured. If those same people hadn't have told us that, well, we needed to let the experts do their job and we should probably keep our mouths shut, that we don't know what we're talking about, we're just sitting on the internet learning these things, and they're the experts. And now these same people on these mainstream radio stations, I hear it because I'm around it all day, they're pushing and selling these advertisements for these law firms about the rights of the vaccine injured. But yet, 3 years ago, we were just idiots and we needed to keep our mouth shut. See, this is what I've always told you. The difference between the people who are free thinkers and the real world is usually about 3 years, maybe 2 in some cases, but about 3 years. And one thing that's getting to me right now is there's not a whole lot of free thinkers ahead of a curveball on anything. What should we be looking for? Because everything is kind of falling into line right now. And so yeah, the central digital bank currency coming into line with the one world government, that's kind of the be all end all of the conspiracy theories. So that's the reason we come together and we pray and we lift each other up. Hey there, Cinder Loner. Hey there, Cinder Loner. That's the reason we come and pray and lift each other up, for that positivity, because really there comes a point in time where as citizens, there's not really going to be a ton we can do unless we revolt. Let's face it, a lot of us are the age that we're not going to be in that group of a revolution. That's going to be for the younger people. We're going to be in the group that's trying to survive. You know what I mean? And so maybe sometimes just look at this a little differently. Anyway, however I got to that from Chile passing a law protecting mutants, I don't know, but yeah, check this out. I seen somebody had a comment over here with us about the integration. Well, we've talked about how Elon is wanting to chip the brain, and how Musk, they're the same person, I think, and Gates is wanting to chip the brain, and everybody's really just kind of been wanting to chip the brain. Well, this company has taken that concept and flipped it 180 degrees, and they have brained the chip. Let me tell you, this is some crazy stuff. Hey there, Rage. How you doing? Good to see you. Hey, Rhonda. Hugs and chocolate. Right back at you. Oh, now I'm hungry. You gotta stop that. I was hungry before I started, and I had kind of pushed that to the side because, look, I was in a rush. I've been trying to get my son's room finished, and I was in there sanding some sheetrock, and I knew this could be a problem, and I thought I had plenty of time. I looked down, it was 7:10, and I had it completely all over me, and sheetrock dust. Anyway, here we are. So anyway, there's this new company, and they have taken it, and they are braining the chip. Yes, they are braining the chip. A computer chip is being built with human tissue, and it has gotten some military funding from one of the militaries. So check this out. Last year, Monash University scientists created the dish brain. The dish brain. Don't that sound just creepy? Kind of really freaking creepy. It's a semi-biological computer chip with some 800,000 human and mouse brain cells, lab grown into its electrodes, demonstrating something like sentience. It learned to play Pong within 5 minutes. Okay. So now we're going to take and actually integrate the brain cells of humans into the computer chip. I don't see how, with augmented reality and artificial reality and artificial intelligence and with robots and with quantum computing and with quantum controlled robots that Geordie Rose and his demonologists were trying to build and put together, I don't see how this type of technology can go off the rails or bad in any kind of way. I think everybody in the room who gave this a big thumbs up was just right to do so. There shouldn't have been anybody anywhere that said, we might ought to take a look at this idea and think about it just a little bit before we head forward. Oh, you gotta quit with the hugs and chocolate. I think J Hart is like, go get a snack. It ain't just that easy. a semi-biological computer chip with some 800,000 human and mouse brain cell lab grown into its electrodes. The microelectrode array at the heart of the dish brain was capable both of reading activity in the brain cells and stimulating them with electrical signals. So the research team set up a version of Pong where the brain cells were fed a moving electrical stimulus to represent which side of the screen the ball was on and how far away from the paddle it was. They allowed the brain cells to act on the paddle, moving it left and right. Then they set up a very basic reward system. You know, like, hey, we'll give you free VIP passes to the strip club if you'll go get a shot. We'll give you a free burger that I can't even choke down on TV if you'll go get a shot. Hey, we're gonna have a lottery if you see what I'm saying. They set up a very basic reward system. You know, I think that's a good thing. I don't think they would want mine or you guys over there in the chat. If you're here listening to me, I don't think they would want our brain cells for this because our brain cells don't seem to work very good on that reward system. If anything, our brain cells would be the ones that would be just rejecting to play Pong. Can you imagine that if they took our brain cells and was like, hey, let us take some of your brain cells and let us see what happens as they put them in a chip and they tried to play Pong and like it refused and just locked up and wouldn't do nothing? That would be about right. Free thinkers. They set up a very basic reward system using the fact that small clusters of brain cells tend to try to minimize unpredictability in their environment. So if the paddle hit the ball, the cells would receive a nice predictable stimulus, but if it missed, the cells would get 4 seconds of totally unpredictable stimulation. It was the first time lab-grown brain cells had been used this way. It should have probably be the last that lab-grown brain cells should be used this way. But we know it won't. It's going to move forward, and someday there will be a transformer running down the street made out of molten metal that's able to transform into different shapes with its artificial intelligent quantum computing nuclear power source, and it will have real brain cells in its chip, and that will give it it'll just be an awesome time to be alive and watch all that happen. I cannot wait. It's just going to be so freaking awesome. But while we wait, we can all look forward to the bad news that meat is going to kill us. And I don't know where that story went. There it is. I guess I clicked forward. Yes, you can always be glad and look forward to the fact that no matter how your day's going, if you're a vegetarian, good for you. If you're a meat eater, oh, it's going to kill you and it's the end of the world. You better never, ever eat meat again. There was actually like a woman that moved to the south, right? And she was walking through one of those Buc-ee's, and they're like, the biggest thing in Buc-ee's other than gas is like meat. And she was like, it's like a felony to have this much. I was like, oh, just what an idiot. Lab-grown meat. Yeah, lab-grown meat causes a lot of things there, Super Dave. From what I understand, it causes your taste buds to react in a way that if you're really a meat eater, it's horrible. Everybody that's tasted it said it tastes like something sour, maybe even spoilt a little bit. I've smelt some, and it smelt like wet dog to me. Okay, now that might be a southern thing, I don't know. So yeah, it's a southern thing. Well, see, Homestead, the great thing about living in the sticks of Mississippi is we can still buy beef fairly local from people that we know. So I don't have to grow. I got chickens and eggs and things of that nature, but beef we can still get on a local level, knowing where it comes from. You're right about that, Rhonda. A lot of food doesn't taste right anymore. Anyway, some more propaganda some news, if you will, if that's what you want to call it, from USA Today. And USA Today says the next pandemic could spring from the U.S. meat supply. And I'm sure the new report that found this is probably sponsored by some government organization that has ties to the World Economic Forum, the Gates Foundation, probably to George Soros, and his ties, and probably somehow to Biden and that group. And I'm not picking on Biden at this point because he's a Democrat. I'm picking on Biden because he's a partner with Klaus Schwab through the Biden Institute. A lot of people do not know, but the Biden Institute was built in Delaware, and I think 2016 or 17, and Klaus Schwab came over and actually helped with the layout, not just of the building, but also the way that it should run and function as a system. A lot of people don't know that because they just label it the Biden Institute, and they kept the WEF quiet on it, but that is absolutely true, and it's actually not hidden. You can find it in simple Google searches, looking up things about the World Economic Forum and the Biden Institute. Just a little tidbit there for you. But anyway, they're still trying to use the pandemic to put fear into the meat supply, and listen, they're also putting in this thing about the ticks and the I can't remember what they call it, but it's the sugar thing that ticks cause, that makes you I can't remember the exact name of it, but anyway, a tick bites you and makes you allergic to meat and horrible taste. I believe that we're dealing with engineered ticks on more than one thing. So with the ticks, it's easy if you can get something into it. It's just kind of like a mosquito because it's constantly biting into the blood supply of something else. So I don't really know what's going on with the ticks, but they get on me horribly, like they are drawn to me. I have to take lots of measures to deal with ticks. I have actually pulled 2 off of me in the last few days, and one of them suckers got in there pretty good. So anyway, I think if you look, you could probably find Cargill attached to this, and people would think, well, Cargill, why would Cargill be attached to the next pandemic in the meat supply? How would they be attached to that? Well, because when you really break this down in the end right now, you're going to be looking at like Cargill, Monsanto, and Gates as the farming trifecta in the United States of America. If it keeps going at this rate, the reason they would do this is because their business will not be affected. They're so big, they're going to be on the top. They're going to be protected because of their ESG score, and they will be backed by BlackRock. That's what will keep them in business. I think my dog is dreaming. I don't know if y'all heard that or not, but it made me completely. Anyway, so they get behind these things and push it, and the same people that are on the boards for these big places, that Cargill, Monsanto, and Gates and all of his buddies are the same people that sit on the boards of USA Today and things of that nature. And then it's a group that owns all of these, but they have people on the board, the same ones that sit on the pharmaceutical. It's all one big circle of them in control, and we know it. Okay, I think this is the article I was on when I got latch on like a Mississippi tick. Hold on, look. Yeah, that's the type of Mississippi ticks I've had to get off of me lately. It's 2 of them. Ugh, man, I hate them things. Anyway, from Forbes Advisor, and I don't have this one blown up. We got something popped up called WorldCoin. I thought I would bring this to your attention. I know most of y'all don't deal, but check this out. After 3 years in development, the digital ID platform, not just the cryptocurrency, the digital ID platform, WorldCoin, digital ID platform, okay, officially launched on Monday, co-founded by OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. And I don't know how, but I've seen that name associated with the World Economic Forum. WorldCoin aims to provide its users with a verified digital identity plus a cryptocurrency token, helpfully named WorldCoin, and a crypto wallet out. According to WorldCoin, advances in artificial intelligence have made it increasingly difficult to tell whether online activity, written text, digital artwork, or really anything that exists on the internet came from real humans or AI. And we all said that was coming, and we were told we were crazy. The company proposes to help resolve this confusion by deploying a sort of digital passport based on what it calls proof of personhood. Is this not something that we talked about? I mean, we were conspiracy theorists for mentioning, hey, you're going to want to give a digital identity to make sure that it's a proof of a person. And what better way than to finally work the chip in? You know what I mean? The goal is simple. A global financial takeover of everything that you do in your... Wait a minute, I'm sorry. I started reading that totally... I went off the rails, and that's not exactly what it says. That's what I think. That's what it says, though. A global financial and identity network based on proof of personhood. This feels especially important in the AI era. I'm hopeful WorldCoin can contribute to conversations about how we share access, benefits, and governance of future AI systems. Okay. Now, I'm going to... This is the way my conspiracy theorist brain works. The way that I've kind of come to understand the technology works. If we continue on the road that we're on with artificial intelligence and the way that it's able to interact with each other, and once it starts to communicate with each other and goes through all of these things with each other, and all of, like, your telephone has like 16 different points of access that can be accessed wirelessly. Won't the AI systems just know how to communicate instantly with that part of your telephone and back and forth and blah, blah, blah? And how hard will it be for the AI to mess up your proof of personhood if it wants to? And I know that, granted, that sounds like a far-fetched idea. But you know what? A lot of far-fetched ideas that people have talked about lately are coming true. You know, I don't know, like a WorldCoin digital identification that's hooked to your currency. I'll guarantee you the World Bank is absolutely hooked to WorldCoin and the World Economic Forum. This is something that I'm going to hang on to. I had just found it before we went online last week, and I need to find out what it's kind of connected to and hooked to. We'll pay attention. Oh, World ID. The heart of the platform is World ID, which the company claims will enable users to verify their humanness online while maintaining their privacy. The so-called proof of personhood is created by an iris scanning device called the Orb. Oh. Of course it is. Much like fingerprints, every person's iris pattern to be blah, blah, blah. We all know that. And the Orb scans your iris and saves an anonymous iris code. It then issues your World ID. It also permanently deletes each iris image. The system does not depend on pointing scanners at your eyeballs each time you need to verify your identity. Oh, yeah, no way this goes bad in any kind of way at all. Hang on, everybody. It's going to get a little bumpy. Besides your World ID, the app can hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, and United States digital currency. Is that what USDC is? I don't know what USDC is. I'm assuming it's United States digital currency. And the company says more cryptos will be supported in the future. I'm assuming... So if that's the case, USDC, yeah. Anyway, and this will probably be where I end on the articles for tonight, and then we'll go take a look at the weather, and at least the solar weather, and then we'll look at the rain that's coming for the next few days, because I've been slacking there. I really don't have a clue what's going on with the weather. But anyway, when I left you all 2 weeks ago, I was going to show you a web page from Uncle Ray that Uncle Ray had decided he didn't need up on his web page anymore, so he had taken it down. But luckily for Uncle Ray and myself, when I seen this web page a long time ago, I felt it was pretty special. So I am not. I'll have to look that up. I'm not familiar with the Twit card. So anyway, I had saved it in the archives, and I went and found where I had saved it in the archives, and I thought I would share it with you guys because if you really want to know who it is that's spying on the social media, because it's, the government don't just do things. The government contracts things out, and so this is the thing. Check this out. This is Uncle Ray's multimedia monitoring system. Look, hitting me with a ray now. I can't talk. And anyway, this M3S, it's an end-to-end capability for collecting, translating, searching, and organizing content from a range of media types in multiple languages. Sources include content from the World Wide Web, broadcast media, YouTube videos, Twitter, and Facebook. M3S integrates and manages the media analysis process from beginning to end, from data collection and processing to automated triage and retrieval. The machine-assisted translation and support for human translations to export and dissemination. The system's automatic analysis of content supports effective retrieval and triage for human analysts who must deal with the overwhelming volumes of continuously accumulating media. So to get that in layman's terms, basically what they do is they claim, well, we're doing all this for translation purposes, but they have to be able to record it all and keep it all and understand it all to be able to translate it all. And they are like one of the largest transportation workers identification card. Transportation workers Alright, I will check that out. Have more on it later. Anyway, so I just like to share this from time to time, especially since they felt it was important enough to remove it from their website, which is something I have never seen happen before with Uncle Ray or Uncle Martin, you know. Rage, that's funny. Rage said, blows my mind how NASA receives data from 4.67 billion miles away, but I lose Wi-Fi signal in my kitchen. That's funny. Needed that laugh. Alright, anyway, I will check this out. And I've shared that again, and I'm sure at some point I'll bring it back up because I just kind of harp on it because it's one of my pet peeves right there is Uncle Ray and his little thing. Now let's look at the weather, because man, the space weather has been crazy lately. This is one of the things that I know there's other channels that do this on a daily basis, so I don't worry about getting out here on a daily basis and having to do it. There's quite a few that talk about these things, but man, the sun has been going crazy the last few whatevers. Geomagnetic storm watch. 1 and perhaps 2 CMEs could deliver glancing blows to Earth's magnetic field on August the 8th. That will be Tuesday. Both left the sun on August the 5th. The first launched by an erupting magnetic filament. The second launched by an X-1.6 class solar flare. A single hit is likely to cause a minor G1 class geomagnetic storm. A double blow could escalate the storm to category G2 or G3. And the one that we just had hit us a couple of days ago, I think that set off a G3 on the 5th, so or the night of the 4th and the morning of the 5th. So see the shortwave radio blackout over the Pacific Ocean. Mariners and ham radio operators may have noticed loss of signal. So yeah, the CME struck Earth during the early hours of August the 5th. Sensors at the Canberra Magnetic Observatory in Australia measured a jolt of 22, I don't know what that is, but I need to figure it out, to our planet's magnetic field The impact sparked a strong G3 class geomagnetic okay, I don't know, and I may just have missed it. Send that again. Somewhere. I apologize. I just get behind on things. I've been working 12 to 16 hours a day, and a lot of it's been outside. So, quite frankly, my brain just hasn't been working lately. So yeah, and it talks a little bit about the aurora. So let's see what's happening with the weather right this minute. See if there's any watches and warnings. I don't have any of this loaded. Let's see if it'll load. My internet's jamming right now. I couldn't ask for it to be any better. Click, it'll go off. Huh. So it rained all across Alabama, and it all started. Okay, I'm about right here, and it all started right there to the west, to the east, going off to the east. And I'd say we're here right now, so it looks like we've got some. Uh-oh. It looks like we've got some thunderstorm watches in North Alabama and Central Georgia. We've got some tornado watches. Indy, I think that's crap. Okay, I'm gonna cheat. That's what I'm gonna do. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, I'm cheating. I am cheating. Okay. We have got a tornado warning in Illinois, along with some flood watches in Illinois. That's tornado watches in Illinois, not warnings. And then we've got flood watches up in Washington, Oregon, Idaho. Maybe easing in Montana. Looks like they're kind of just on that edge right now. Hey there, Sandy. Good to see you. Boomer. Dog named Boo. Anybody else that I've missed? Welcome in. Welcome in. Alright, so let's, was anything nuts going on with these radars? Oh, crap. Not anything that I would notice. Need an expert to look at them. Hey, Steve, currently I'm in Central Mississippi, and I feel the same way. I told somebody the other day, I said, I know now why the devil chose Greenville, Mississippi to go find Robert Johnson to buy his soul. And it was because, well, the devil just didn't want to feel like he was too far from home. It's as simple as that. Yes, it has been hot in these southern states. It's hot at night. And I don't care what the temperature says. It's hot. And let me tell y'all something else, too. I watched a video today, an old video that had been, like, transferred over from old film to digital so they could put it on YouTube. And it was pre-Camille, Mississippi Gulf Coast, and I don't remember it, but my family and my wife's family, they remember it. And I paused it and I said, "Hey, look, do you see that?" And my wife, because y'all, some of y'all know her, she said, "Yeah, I see it." I said, "What?" She said, "The sky is so blue We haven't had that, and I'm telling y'all, it will not be but a few more years. The sky will be silver, or the sky will be white. There will be no more blue sky, and after a short period of time, it will become a thing of the past that the sky was blue. And just keep in mind what I say. The sky is not as blue as it was 4 years ago. At that point, it's not as blue as it was 4 years before that, and it's definitely not as blue as it was in that old ratty film that I watched from 1960 something today. Anyway, there's a me just complaining about something. Let's look at this solar thing here and see what it looks like. Oh. Right there, kapow! And I must just be missing the other one from yesterday. So yeah, there's the CME that we're going to get a glance and blow from. What is this? Something I don't know how to read anyway. You notice a little bit of change in the Schumann resonance when that happens. I don't think that, with some of the craziness we've seen in it lately, this don't look too awful out of the way to me. Not that I would know. I mean, who am I to know? Alright, let's see what we got going on here. Out toward the west coast. Love the way this is stitched together. I mean, look at that stitching. Look right there. I don't know. You got some old thick back and forth action going on right here. Whew, that's some nasty looking stuff. That's out off of the Bajas. That's nasty. Let's see what's up. Of course it don't work right. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. These look like they could be coming from boats or something. I don't know. Those right there look like there's some big old heavy trails, airplane trails right there. I don't know. I don't know. Let's I'll tell you what. Let's look at the Earth normal and let's check out the air qualities real quick. And then we'll get over to the rain, and then we will look at the weather. So we got here we go. Carbon monoxide surface. Northeast was looking. It's always a little rough right there. I'm sure there's a reason why. Go around the world. Whoa. That is not what I wanted to do. Okay, and then we have the carbon dioxide, which that's actually pretty good. It's not too bad. Started getting a yellow right there, but okay. And we got sulfur dioxide, and then these are your normal shipping lanes. Where you see that not as heavy as it is a lot of times. And you know, these shipping lanes, look, there's not a whole lot of activity over here until you get in this direction. Maybe that's something that's normal and I just hadn't paid it that much attention, but doesn't appear a whole lot's going on over here. That'd be something to look to pay attention to. I don't know. I know usually they are, and since that is gone, that means there's some type of pattern change. Now, hey, I will tell y'all another quick story real quick from the news. And this is something that you preppers will probably notice and understand quicker. Yellow van lines, the number 4 freight hauler in the world, is shutting its doors. It is going out of business due to lack of freight to carry. So this lack of freight to carry, it is a systematic shutdown of the system that puts products on your shelves. Just be aware of that. Everything is slowing, and one way for them to be able to change their numbers on their economic things that a lot of people don't realize they can do is they can change the amount of products that are available to purchase, and that also works into their numbers, and they can say they've made the economy better, even though it's a manipulation like everything else that they do in the government. It's all a manipulation. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all below this up there. You get the point. Yep, took the driver's retirement with them. Oh yeah, the drivers are going to get shafted in this bad. And that has been a staple of the highway. If you're in your 40s or 50s, you've been seeing those yellow trucks on the road, and since you were a kid. So anyway, let's look at the rain map and then let's pray. And I'm not going artificial scarcity. Well said. The fighter ships that are abandoned. Okay, I am so lost on a lot of that. I don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, I probably should, but golly, y'all, my life has been nuts. I haven't watched a stream of a truther. Heck, I didn't even know Jim was on until I got ready to go live. I just don't have the time right now. But I'm thankful to have the work. This time is really busy for me, and if sometime, yes, it says yellow. They're responsible for a large majority of food stuff that gets delivered specifically. They are one of the reasons food gets delivered the way that it does, on time. Yeah, they are a huge deal about food. And that's like I say, I was going to try to get a little more on that so that I could talk to y'all about it, but I wanted to just break that to you. I will try to look it up and have some more details. But that's a big deal when a company that size can't get enough freight to stay in business. And yeah. Anyway, we're going to look ahead about 7 days. So we're looking here at August the 6th. And that would probably be around midnight tonight, I would believe. Let's see if I'm going to have to cheat on the... Okay. So tonight it appears that we're going to have some moisture. We did see some warnings into Idaho and in the edges of Washington and Oregon. So we look like we got some moisture, some rain there. Looks like we also got some rain. I might as well just go ahead and bite the bullet. I need to learn. Y'all are going to have to put up with me while I do. My geography sucks. I mean, sucks. I know where Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, and Louisiana are. That's about it. Okay, so I thought I was right. Okay, let's see. And that one is Kentucky. Wow. Yeah, Kansas. Okay. Kansas looks like is getting dumped on, and in Kansas we know Kansas is known for storms. Like South Dakota is getting dumped on pretty good, and it also looks like Iowa is getting wet pretty good. And we get on down here, Tennessee, Alabama, into Georgia. Y'all are getting wet, and let's see if this continues into a trend. All that moisture continues to move. Oklahoma. I do know where Michigan is. It took me a while to get there because I know it's up there around those lakes. And I would get it in Wisconsin and a couple other ones confused, but I've kind of started to figure them out a little bit. The Minnesota, Iowa, and Missouri. Yeah, there's Michigan. I used to get Michigan and Wisconsin confused. Actually, my dog just woke up and she's over there doing her scratching and shaking the bed. And you might be hearing that, or you might be hearing all kinds of stuff. I can't hear much anymore, so it could really be much. It could be anything.